Hey, Big Daddy Mars, where are we listening to Necromancer?
Oneofus.net.
One of Us is a podcast and video network funded all but entirely by donations and subscriptions. We do accept pitches for audio-based or banner ads, but on a case-by-case basis. If you are interested in that, contact us at oneofusnet@gmail.com. With the amount of audio and video content we generate, it is expensive and extremely time-consuming to keep things running. Please go to the webpage oneofus.net and sign up for a subscription at $2, $5, $10, or $25 and get a ton of bonus content. One of Us needs and appreciates all your support.
So in the song Circus by Britney Spears, Britney said, there are only two types of guys out there. Ones that can hang with me and ones that are scared. Which are you?
Oh, I'm a shy boy. I'm way too scared. Too scared all day. No, if Britney Spears ever wanted to hang out, I would be too nervous. I mean, especially now, but like even back then.
So you are among the guys that are scared, not just because you're a horror fan.
Right. Yeah, just scared in general.
Yeah, no, me and Brittany, we have that same problem. Guys are just scared to hang out with us.
Yeah, women are scary.
That's what I've been told. All right, shall we get a new brain?
Oh, I can't wait.
Need a new brain. This is Necromancer.
Necromancer.
I'm Shira, and I am a stan of romantic comedies.
Oh, I'm Bret, and I'm a diehard fan of horror movies.
Every week here on Necromancer, Bret picks a horror movie, I pick a rom-com, and then we work those movies out on the remix. We turn the rom-com into a horror, and the horror into a rom-com. If you were with us last week, then you would know that this is our second part to our theme of pop stars in horror and rom-coms.
Yeah. Pop star, never stop, never stopping.
Never stop popping and stopping. So, do you have any pop stars of whom you are a stan of? Any pop stars where you would be starstruck in their presence?
I mean, yes and no. Like, I think I could easily get starstruck by any of the pop stars. I find pop music very enjoyable and listenable. It's not music I generally seek out, but when I hear pop star music, I'm like, all right, this is scientifically designed and engineered to be pleasing to me, and it's a little pleasing, yeah. But like Lady Gaga would be really interesting to me. I don't know if I would be super starstruck, but I would be appropriately struck for sure.
It was Lady Gaga who said you could have 100 people in a room and 99 don't believe in you, but just one of them does.
Yeah. That's all she needed. She went from nobody to pop star. Mega pop star.
Little Stephanie.
How about you? Do you have like a pop star crush on anybody? Anybody old? Anybody new?
Pop star crush. I don't know if I would call him a pop star, but I loved the song If You're Not the One by Daniel Bedingfield when I was a young person. But pop star wise, like I love me some Marina. Of course, I love Britney Spears and Lady Gaga. I find the machinery of the pop star to be really interesting. I famously went and saw Michael and famously recorded my distaste for it. But I am sort of fascinated by the pop star, not just as a person or an entity, but as a complex organization where essentially like the pop star is the front man, but there's, so many people behind the scenes working to make this thing happen.
This is how I feel about ants.
Yeah.
Intrigued by the complex process of how it all works behind the scenes.
That is a good comparison. A pop star is essentially an ant colony, and then the pop star is the queen. Sure. And every single person in the colony is working around the queen. But is the queen really the queen? Right. Or is she just popping out more worker drones and creating more jobs and money for other people? See how I turned it back to our topic? So we got to explore last time the idea of the pop star as love interest. And that's typically how they appear in romantic comedies, and why I think we tend to see more representation from male pop stars in rom-coms, where we can make the pop star like a male romantic lead for our Your Name stand-in female lead. Yeah. But in horror, I would say I don't think there is any horror movie starring a male pop star that I can think of off the top of my head. Can you?
I mean, some of those later Nightmare on Elm Streets, Freddy Krueger is kind of the closest you're gonna get.
Right, but then he's also the killer. I think pop stars in horror movies are often final girl or victim, right?
Right. Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know if I could name one where like the famous guy is a pop star. I don't know.
Or where the final boy is a pop star.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you got Fifth Element, but he's more of a supporting, colorful character.
Yeah, Ruby Rod. Ruby Rod does come up big.
Yeah, he's really lifting a lot of weight for the male pop star representation in cinema. But yeah, it does seem like the pop star is a good setup for horror. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's ripe for being stalked. It's ripe for inviting people into your lives who are crazy. It's ripe for that sort of like, I'm talking about crazy things, but we have to push past them anyway because we have this bigger thing going on. So there's like a denial of the pop star's fears and stuff happening. So like, there's a lot of juicy stuff. Real juicy stuff.
I think you bring up a really good point there, particularly with the question of why is the behavior, are the crazy incidents just being ignored? And it's being ignored because there's too much at risk for things to go wrong with her now. They need her to be well so badly that they're willing to ignore every single indication that she's not.
Right, and it doubles down the idea for this movie specifically. It doubles down on the what's driving her crazy in the first place, which is this thing that just purely is designed to cause her anxiety. So, like, her anxiety throughout this movie is just skyrocketing. Skyrocketing. So yeah, it's very good in that regard. Had you go ahead?
Oh, I was gonna ask. Did you also think of Perfect Blue when you were seeing this movie, or other pop star horror?
Oh yeah, big time. There's one specific scene in general where it was like, "Yep, this is we gotta do it" kind of scene. But had you seen the first movie?
I had not, and I know you watched it as part of our preparation.
Yeah, I had
give us
seen
a little
it
bit of the
before.
first movie.
Right, so the first movie I thought was good. I think both of these movies are too long, in my professional opinion. I think they're both too long. But the first movie is very good. It's about a lady psychiatrist who has a person come in one day. And this person who comes in is very crazy and starts spouting about a demon that takes on the form of other people, dead or alive, that only she can see, and smiles at her. She commits suicide, starts the chain, and then this lady who is a professional psychiatrist starts experiencing stuff that induces mental breakdowns, but she also is investigating the thing based on her conversation with the girl who killed herself right before she got contaminated. And so it's a pretty good movie, like a pretty solid standard thriller. It gets right to the end, and then we get this like giant thing that comes into it's pretending to be her dead mother, and then it morphs into this giant thing, and it rips off its face, and it's this very famous smile demon, very sort of instantly iconic smile demon, sort of crawls in her mouth, and we see all this happen, and then she kills herself right in front of her ex-boyfriend, who is the cop who opens up this movie.
Kyle Gallner, who inherits the he gets the Smyrus.
Right. He gets the Smyrus, as Shira has coined quite eloquently. I like that, Smyrus. He gets the Smyrus, and he all the footwork has been done for him because he was with the main character for a big portion of the movie.
Once again, a man benefits from a woman's research. Yeah.
He does benefit from that, and he tries to anyway. But the Smyrus is too strong.
But I did bring up over our text exchange that I felt like this movie does kind of fall into that Final Destination, It Follows category of the invisible monster. What do you think? Yeah. I know we're talking pop stars, but what do you think of this as an invisible monster movie?
It's interesting. It's very interesting because it's invisible to everyone else but her, which causes some interesting things to happen. It causes that anxiety, the fact that it can like read her mind because it's contaminated her, so it's inside her mind, so it knows personal details. So these things can be people who are intimate with her or people who are completely random. It's a terrifying concept. It's kind of like a gang stalking kind of concept of like your main character is just going to have their sanity tested throughout this entire movie, and rightfully no one would believe them. Everyone would think they're crazy. And they give both characters in both movies reasons for them to be unbelievable. In this movie specifically, it's her past drug use and stuff, but like, I don't know. It's interesting. It can be frustrating because me as the audience knows what's happening, but at the same time, how it's presented and how it's done, I think in all the movies you mentioned is very cool. It's a very cool concept.
I think that's what I'm kind of hitting on. Yeah, I think there is something there to where, since you're privy to the truth of the character's experience, it can be kind of, I don't know, painful to have to sit through the disbelief. However, I would say, having seen the most recent Final Destination installment where people are immediately locked in like, oh yeah, death's trying to take us.
Right.
I feel like the opposite of instant belief is also kind of poorly handled, where it doesn't work. But it's always, I don't know, these invisible monster movies are intriguing to me because it seems like an opportunity or a jumping off point for them to just do tons of fun things with the camera and with the blocking of the characters to support the invisible entity. So because it's not a fixed monster, it requires these interesting set pieces where either it's going to be fully reliant on Naomi Scott's reaction to something that's not there,
Yes.
or we're going to get a bunch of extras in there and have them perform a specific action that's going to lend to it. But because it's not fixed, then it seems like we have both more tools but less cost with an invisible monster.
Yeah, and you're right. There is a certain satisfaction of like that dopamine hit you get when you get a magic eye to focus and you can see the picture hidden in the magic eye. There's this dopamine hit when, like, in a crowd of people you go, "Oh, that's the thing." Like, that's the thing.
They
or
got the Smyrus.
if it comes out from the shadows or something, like, you're looking all around, like, where's it going to pop out from? And then when you finally see it, you're like, "Ooh, there it is." Like, and yeah, it is very cool. Yeah.
Shall we get into the story?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we pretty much jump right, in media res. We've got the weird girls, every weird girl's favorite crush, Kyle Gallner as Joel. And he is frantically trying to, like you said, cast the curse off of him. And so he drives up to this house. He pulls a gun on this guy who's about to go in. And then he goes in with them. And he attempts to murder one of the drug dealers in front of the other so that he can pass it without dying himself. But everything goes tits up.
Yeah.
The guy who's meant to be the witness dies. And then because there was a new witness...
Yeah, there was a hidden guy the whole time.
There was a hidden guy. There was a hidden guy buying drugs, played by Lucas Gage, who seems to be in everything nowadays. Like I'm sure he's auditioning too, but he just says yes to everything. Or there's enough people who are like, get me a Lucas Gage type, and
yeah,
Lucas Gage is
I
available.
looked up his credits after the movie, and I was like, I've not seen most of this stuff, but like he has been doing a lot, and he definitely has like a kind of that guy kind of face. Like I've definitely seen him in stuff.
He's booked and busy, and I do like that he looks like a person that you would encounter in real life. Like, he doesn't have leading man looks, but he's also attractive enough to be a lead if he so got the chance to. But yeah, Lucas Gage, I enjoy him. And so now Lewis has the curse, and just as Joel is trying to get away, and it's kind of a cool scene watching him go through the I don't know, the flop house or whatever, and try to get out of there. And not only is he killed and run over by a truck, the truck basically completely dismembers him.
Yeah, so Sonia
He's torn apart.
Sonia did not watch the first movie with me, so I had to explain to her, like, hey, if I was cutting stuff from the first movie, I would probably cut out this whole subplot about her specifically finding this guy who tells her, hey, if you kill it before it kills you, or if you kill someone else, you can basically sacrifice and switch. Like, he spells it out for her, and then she kind of, but doesn't really do it, and like... If I was cutting stuff, I would cut all that out.
Too.
But
I would cut it out too.
But it sets up this weird rule that, like, so yeah, I gotta explain to Sonia, okay, he's trying to like be a vigilante here and pass it on to a bad guy, but then it's tragic because there's an innocent person there the whole time, but it's also like he was saved at the last minute. So there's a lot of emotions going on if you've seen the first movie and you're like, okay, this is like, we're starting up, amped up, and really good. But then when that truck hits him, it's supposed to be a big moment, so there's a lot of blood, but the blood, spills out into a smile shape. And when I
Right.
when I pointed that out to Sonia, because it's very much like the first movie has a moment like that underneath a white sheet, a character who slits their throat makes a smile. For the rest of the movie, Sonia's pointing out anything and everything that can be smile shaped. Like she had the smyrus, and she was seeing
Is that a smile?
She was seeing it everywhere. She's like, "This is a smile. They're gonna smile. Oh, those bushes are in the shape of a smile." Like, no, they're not. But I appreciate the effort.
There is,
But it has to be big. It has to be a big moment. This movie has to open
Right.
big because, again, like, this movie's 2 hours, so it's going to try to go for some big swings, and it's got to let us know right away that, like, you're getting more smile craziness. And we do.
Oh,
we
yeah.
do get a lot of smile craziness.
Because we gotta bring it. It's smile too. More
Right.
smiles.
More
Here
smiles.
with the ears.
Smiles for miles.
Smiles for miles. I do think that you're right, though. There's so much of this that reminds me of Final Destination, and that Final Destination has a very similar thing, where it's like, oh, if you flatline, then you can cheat death.
Yeah,
into
they tried
thinking
doing
that
that
it's
in the first
taking you,
movie.
and
Or no, that's this movie, right? They're trying to.
That's this
yeah.
movie.
It's I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. I know that I did work that into one of my remixes lately, and I was a big fan of when I did it. But I did it right. I don't know if I agree with this whole. I like a good loophole and everything, but this whole like, oh well, technically I died, so technically I get out of it. All right.
Tricks, no take-backs. No
All right.
take-backs, death. There's something very cheeky about these invisible monsters, and there is something very goofy about the smile premise that I think that the movie doesn't take itself too seriously, where I feel permitted to laugh at some of these moments.
I feel like the movie's taking itself pretty seriously, but I also feel like
I'm not.
I feel like the movie backs it up enough to be like, all right, I see the tone you're going for, but I do agree though that like it does have a sense of humor. I don't know if it's as in on it. Like, I think the movie treats itself very seriously.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll give you that. But similar to Sonia, I had some fits and starts.
Yeah,
and
we were
also,
definitely goofing with the movie. We were having a good time with it.
There is one thing I'm confused about. Is the pickup truck that kills Kyle Gallner the same pickup truck that is involved in the accident? Or is this a separate car accident from the one that injured her and killed the actor?
No, it would have been. So when she gets the virus, it's a week later, pretty much, like 1 week
Right.
later. So it would have been much. Her accident would have been much further back, right? It was at least months ago. It wasn't
would
just
have
1
to
week.
be. It's just, I don't know, to have two big vehicular accidents be two different accidents, that was confusing.
Yeah.
But all to say that not the only person involved in a gruesome pickup truck accident. We've got Sky Riley, played by Naomi Scott, who is on her big comeback tour. So we meet her as she appears on Drew with Drew Barrymore.
What? Drew Barrymore? The star of music and lyrics, Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, I know. What an Archie moment. Once again, not even attempting to make these connections. We have the star of our previous movie interviewing the star of our current movie.
It's enough to make one smile.
Oh, from ear to ear. So we learn that she struggled with substance abuse. She was in a car crash that killed her boyfriend, actor Paul Hudson, played by Jack Nicholson's baby. I like that the Smile franchise has sort of a meta layer of we got we got a Nepo baby in the first movie, and then we
Yeah.
get another one for the second movie. I'm not anti Nepo babies.
Right.
I think, hey, if you can grow up in the business and it makes you better, great. And so she's on her big comeback tour, and we get a vision into her life. We see that she's got a momager played by Rosemary DeWitt.
Yeah.
And just as the mother and her handler leave her at her apartment, she immediately goes back out so she can go get some Vicodin from none other than Lewis.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. And it's good because it's already a bad idea, but then it's good because we, the horror audience, know what's going to happen to her.
Oh yes, no, it's now that we have the setup, we know that when she shows up to the apartment and the person whose apartment it is Lewis, and he is tweaking the fuck out.
Yep. And
it's bad news.
He's at the end of his week, which if we've seen the first movie, we know that that means his sanity is so ready to break, he's willing to accept the demon. And when you accept the demon and it crawls inside your mouth and it smiles and kills itself, that's when we know that he's tweaking so hard that this moment is about to come. And so the whole time we want her to leave because we want her pop star career to be good, but we also want her to leave because don't get infected with the Smyrus. It's a miserable time for everybody. I don't mind if this movie is 20 minutes and you get out scot-free. I don't mind that at all. But that's not how horror movies go. And just like the first movie, I mean, I didn't know the ending of this movie, but I could have predicted that just like the first movie, this is a very much a drag me to hell downer of a movie. There is no happy ending coming. And I think a lot of
feel bad movie.
Yeah, a lot of modern, or maybe not a lot, but there's a good amount of modern horror movies that give into that. Even older horror movies that give into that idea of we're just gonna make this a downer, and you're here for the suffering.
Aussie horror movies, they love doing that.
Yeah.
The Australians are huge on downer endings.
Yeah, don't expect anything good to happen by the end of those ones. The whole world's upside down there.
So, exactly. Something that I'm curious about, I noticed, right from the jump, and particularly here when she puts on that hoodie with all the danglies to go out, there's a really strong style to this movie. Not just, with the camera movements and everything they're doing, but how they designed her apartment, even his apartment, and how liminal and empty and weird it feels.
Yeah.
Everything she wears in the movie is so incredibly well thought out. There are times which I think her blonde wig looks terrible, and then others where I'm like, this is actually really good for the movie.
Right.
But yeah, it seems like visually, they're so tapped in on what they want the movie to be. Was it like that with the first one?
The first movie's much more subdued because she's playing a psychiatrist who's sort of upper middle class upbringing, but trying to break into that upper class barrier, and it's much more subdued and minimalistic. This movie very much enjoys the fact that it's about a pop star because you're right, the fashion is really cool. A lot of the sets are really interesting. Yeah, it's a very overly stylized approach to bringing out the anxiety that she's feeling, but I think it works. I generally speaking vibe with this movie.
Oh yeah, it feels very maximalist, and it's nice that her being a pop star it allows them to engage in those excesses. I don't know. There were I wouldn't say I necessarily had the same reaction that you had to music and lyrics, where I understood that it worked, but it wasn't working on me. I think where things fell for me might have been in the writing and the rule making, and then the sort of it's a deliberate lack of continuity, but even within that deliberate lack of continuity, there were also things that didn't make sense, like you were saying with the guy whose brother got the Smyrus, and our entire plot line with him just feeling incredibly disjointed and disconnected. But then so much can be explained away by the Smyrus and the visions of the Smyrus.
Yeah. So we'll definitely get into it as we go, but one observation Sonia had is she thought it would take more than 3 hits when the guy does get possessed by the demon. And
this is a horror movie in the 2020s, baby. We got to do like 10 hits at least.
When he gets possessed and starts smashing the weight against his face, Sonia was like, it would take more than 3 hits. However, I would like to say that if the smile demon was inside of him at this point, he's hitting himself with full force demonic strength. He's not using, like, if you're a human, I think even if you really, if you wanted to bash your head in, you'd probably hold back just a little bit. I agree it'd take more than 3, but he does a lot of damage in 3 hits. Yeah, his face is just falling off, and he's bleeding profusely. And
he's like the little boy in Bring Her Back.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking cool.
It's cool, but okay, riddle me this. As a horror fan, why in the 2020s do horror movies love to make someone bash their face against a blunt object? A plate, a door, a table. I swear, it's an epidemic.
Yeah, it's just one of those generational things, I guess. A lot of people growing up feel the need to release their anger by hitting themselves in the head, or I don't know. Head bashing is in. Head bashing's in, baby.
Is this like a thing like that producer obsessed with the mechanical spider, where he's like, your movie's missing one thing.
You think it's one guy demanding all the head bashing? Pulling all the strings?
I think it would be really funny if it was.
Yeah.
But no, I unfortunately, I think it's way worse than that. It's not one guy forcing his idea on other people. I think it's a bunch of other people having one idea.
Right, it's more of a cultural phenomenon that needs to be studied.
But yeah, no, I'm much more interested in one man's fixation and mania spreading to others, like the Smyrus.
Right.
So she sees him kill himself with the barbell plate. 35 pounds, come on. And she leaves without calling the cops.
She can't.
She doesn't want to.
She went to rehab and stuff. She can't be seen hanging around a dead drug dealer.
Yeah, I will give this movie that. Like, again, like they are able to give us very grounded and immediately understandable reasons for, well, why didn't she go for help? Why didn't she?
And it also makes it difficult when people start asking her what's wrong, because she can't. First of all, she doesn't know about the smile demon until much later into the movie. But right. 2, she can't explain her situation because her situation already started with something that no one is ever going to believe, that she was just there for a reasonable amount of Vicodin, right? Which is, unfortunately for her, exactly what she was doing. But no one is going to believe that, especially with the visions and crazy things that start happening.
We get some nice bits with her trichotillomania, where she's compulsively tearing out her hair.
It's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable.
Which is
they
good
really,
because it's a horror movie.
They did some Foley effects with that one.
Yeah, it's very good because it's a horror movie, but also, like, me as a viewer, I was genuinely uncomfortable the more she was pulling out her own hair. It's very upsetting. Because, like, sometimes I'll, like, yank out like, an arm hair or something, and I'm like, ooh. But entire fistfuls of my hair on top of my head, no thank you.
But yeah, very Freddy-like. The visions start to trickle in, and it's small little scares at first, and then it gets bigger and bigger. So she's seeing hallucinations of disfigured Lewis,
right.
Hearing his squelching. I also love the way that they designed her apartment with those black marble everywhere, so it feels like she's already inside of a tomb, like she's gonna die there. It's like the least cozy home environment, but then it also feels curated. It doesn't seem like it's just there, like they put so much thought into it. And then her mom suggests that she reach out to her estranged friend Gemma, played by Dylan Galula, and then all at the same time, Skye's getting an unknown number asking her, like, were you at Louis Fragoli's apartment? So it's
a bit silly. The way that who it is and their mission in the movie, as it's later revealed, it's a bit silly how this person comes across right away as very distrustworthy and shady. But it essentially seems like some sort of authority figure going like, were you at Lewis's, the drug dealer's house last night? Like, I know you were. Like, what is she supposed to do with this?
And I thought maybe it was meant to be like another person she knows who gets drugs from him. Like, that would have made sense.
I thought,
to me.
I was thinking, like, it's supposed to feel sort of authoritative, like in the sense of like some sort of police presence or like cop presence. But I also thought, like, this is a friend blackmailing her, and she's gonna have to do something about it. Like, I don't know.
I thought it would end up being Gemma or something, because she also went to high school with Lewis. But we get a scene where Gemma comes over, and it's like, oh, we're
Gemma
friends
comes
again.
Doesn't Gemma come over after she does the? Do we get the photo op part yet, or does that come after she?
Oh, right.
Gemma?
So she does her photo shoot, and then in the dressing room, she starts to have a freak out again, right?
Yeah, so she's in the dressing room, and she's got all of this stuff happening, like this real world stuff happening. But then when she goes out to take photos, that's where she meets the crazy guy. And this is what specifically reminded me of Perfect Blue.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Thank you for reminding me, because I love this scene in particular. Feels very Perfect Blue inspired.
Right.
Like they
so up until now, the only visions she's really seen are like ones that even she can just again, she doesn't know the rules of this thing. So normally I would find this kind of frustrating, but I think this movie does it very well up until a certain point where she is having these weird visions of like the dead guy standing behind her, and when she moves her head, he moves his head and stuff. It's very cool. She's having visions of things in her apartment that, like, when she turns around and looks back, they're not there. So she's able to describe all of this away as trauma, but trauma that she can't tell anyone about because that situation where she was traumatized could end her career. So she's got a lot of this stuff bubbling underneath her, and she is not aware that this smiling demon thing can manifest itself in the form of complete strangers who are there simply to taunt her. So while she's out doing a public post-Drew Barrymore pre-concert big press moment thing. She's got a lot of pressure on her, a lot of eyes on her, and then
doing a lot of forced smiling.
And then straight out of fucking Perfect Blue comes the weirdest, creepiest fucking psycho man you could imagine.
It's kind of funny. The guy's not an unattractive guy, but they did everything they could to make him look weird.
It looked like he had blood on his face.
He had really bad rosacea acne,
but
that's kind of what they were going for.
Right, so it was very weird because it looked like he just got done murdering someone. And then the more they get into the close-ups, the more I could see that, like, oh, okay, they're going for more of, like, a skin thing, condition, acne thing, condition, right. But, like, it was very weird because at the beginning I was like, okay, this is clearly a monster because the rules, as far as I know, are if the monster is presenting itself to you, other people can't see it. So there is a portion of my brain that's looking out for, are people interacting with him? Are they commenting or reacting to him? And the fact that he's looking the way he looks.
Were real.
What?
But him and the little girl were real.
Well, that's what's so weird, right? That's what's so weird is so this guy has her sign the thing, and he says love Riley, and I like how she puts the heart. So she's giving him what he wants, but she's also not doing it exactly the way he wants it. And then he takes the picture, and then he just completely snaps on her, starts screaming at her, and the cops, well, the mall security, pull him away, and she has to take just a moment of a breather. And the mom is like, what do you want to do about this? And she's like, let's just get it done, right? She's here to power her way through all of this stuff. The more she can keep her mind distracted, the better. And then comes the little girl, and that's where the rules start to kind of break apart, because the little girl is clearly smiling, and she's a smiley demon.
And it's that chin down, the signature chin down Smyra smile.
But then other people, like, the guy starts taking photos of her, and then the little girl walks away with her mom. So it gets a little weird into the lore and accuracy, and like you said, just like a general cohesion between the lore, the continuity. But it is creepy because she's asking the little girl questions, and the little girl just will only smile. And that's, again, I like movies like this and like Evil Dead, where the Deadites are more interested in, like, we're not here to actually, like, kill you specifically. We just want to fuck with you until your sanity breaks.
Yeah, I do enjoy that it's very much a prankster's approach to spooks and scares. And so then that night she calls Gemma to come over, and then immediately afterwards she hears something, and then she goes to the hallway and she sees the shirt that she signed. Yeah. So we know that it's him.
Good detail.
We see all of his clothes, including his shit-stained underwear.
Oh, so nasty.
They really dwelled on that detail. They wanted us to know that the prop department...
It was a good touch until it spent a little too long on it.
Hey, that prop lady was dabbing the coffee onto there in a straight line for God knows how long. And then the lights flip off, and we don't see him in his full naked glory, but we know he's naked, and he is standing in the hallway. This to me was the most terrifying scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's playing on a real fear, a real thing, like a real stalkerish fear.
The Golden State Killer actually did this. He would show up in his victims' houses fully nude.
Right. Like to be trapped in your own house with that is creepy, and then it's a great moment again because when she runs for the door, opens the door, and there's Gemma, we then get to test her sanity as she realizes none of the clothes are there, the person isn't there, none of it is there. As she's playing catch up to what we already know, she's realizing there is just something fucking with me, and I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's a great mixture because she's also got pop star stuff happening.
Exactly. And the pop star stuff rears its head.
It never
in the
stops,
morning.
never stopping.
Yeah, her mom comes over and is like, "Where are you? We need to
she
go
wakes
do
up.
this
She
thing."
spends a much needed, well rested night with Gemma, but wakes up late the next morning, and being late is not good because she has a whole day of press planned. So her mom comes over just freaking out.
And then the big part, which is she has to go to this gala for Darius, her boyfriend. I guess, I don't know, his role was so unclear to me. Until he showed up at one point with a bouquet of flowers, I was like, oh, he was the boyfriend?
Actually, as you're saying it right now, I'm a little confused because I didn't realize
I think he was the
boyfriend.
new. I think he was the new boyfriend, and she was doing something. So she's preparing to go on stage and present something, but then the teleprompter stops, and she completely embarrasses herself. And then when it starts up again on the teleprompter, and then this is the detail that I thought was weird, was even after she was once again having real people react to her, the teleprompter still had Paul Hudson, the dead actor's name on it. So it made me think, okay, is that meant to be real? Or are we still seeing her perspective that it says that?
It's one of those kind of fake outs where it stops the being, the cosmic being, stops the teleprompter. It fiddles with her vision, Mysterio style, and causes her to see the teleprompter freeze. She just blurts out a bunch of really embarrassing stuff, and her makeup is like fudged up. Her lipstick is all messed up.
Yeah, she's got that
so,
Joker smile.
It's really upsetting. It's really uncomfortable. She admits a lot of things that are very grimace-worthy. But then when the teleprompter starts back up, we hope that the tension has been released and she's back on track. But it's revealed that, no, the entity still has control of her. She calls out the dead boyfriend's name. He stands up. He's got the smile. No one else can see him. He approaches her.
Oh, this is his big moment. I feel like him and Jack were probably practicing for this. Like, no, it's got to be like this.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the whole role comes down to, yes, how good is your smile? And Baby Joker's got a good smile.
I really want to be a fly on the wall for the smile auditions.
Yeah.
You've got the smile. You've got the smile.
Yeah, to hear him talk about it, break it down. Okay, come in, smile, leave. Okay, what did you think about that smile? I don't know. Too cheeky. I don't know. Too.
The eyes weren't dead enough. And then this part made me just laugh so hard. I don't know. I don't think it was meant to be funny, but the entity as Paul comes onto stage, and she freaks out so much that she whips around and launches this older woman into a table by the stage.
Yeah.
She slams into the table and it breaks with her frail gray body.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's like a full-on WWE slam, smackdown. She gets smacked so right down.
It reminded me of when they put that guy on the trampoline for Blood Red Sky so he could spring into frame.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just the blocking of them throwing, and it must have been a stunt double, right? That threw themselves into the table, but the devil may care-ness.
Yeah, it feels like something out of like Hot Rod or something. Like tossing an old lady that hard into a table off of a 8-foot stage is just like it feels comedic.
But this is the moment, this is the turning point that gets her to acknowledge the mystery. Well, did she acknowledge the mystery texter after this moment or after the flash mob in her apartment?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like she does it before, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
She must do it before. So yeah, she goes to meet with the
Right.
guy.
The guy texts her again out of the blue saying like, no, really, I believe that you're seeing a bunch of stuff. Here's a video that would have been very helpful a couple days ago. Like, I'm on your side. Like, so after letting her stew for 3 days, he finally comes out and is like, I'm a good guy. Come meet me at this public bar.
Right. And so they meet at the bar. He explains that it's this parasitic curse that will die without a host. And then his big plan is that they're going to stop her heart and then resuscitate her to break the curse. She, of course, is like, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not doing that. Just as people begin to recognize her.
Right.
And that, you're exactly right. That's when she runs back to her apartment and gets flash mobbed by the entity. And this scene is both incredibly cool, and I would not have been able to hold it together if I was watching this in a theater because it was so funny.
There are a couple times where Sonia is laughing in theaters, and I'm like, please have some respect for the people who are actually enjoying it. I have cultivated my ability to suppress my laughter at laugh out loud moments while in public. Please learn to do the same. Please. I've been in the theater with both of you together, creating a feedback loop of laughing, and I'm just sitting there like, I get it, but also please. It's this scene is very laugh out loud, but it also within the context of the movie and everything.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It is very cool. It's
fantastically
silly.
done. Because they do that thing where they don't move until she looks away from them.
Right.
And when she looks back, they are once again red light.
Right.
But they are much closer.
Yeah.
And then
it's mimicking the dancing from before and being handled by all these people. And, like, it's just got this really cool sway to it.
Oh yeah, no, this is one of those things where you could show someone and be like, could AI do this? No, because there's too many hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dancers in this scene are incredible. The amount of physical control and then the smoothness with which they menace her slowly. Yeah. It just, like, incredible choreography. The person who choreographed this scene, big ups to them.
This movie definitely made a splash when it came out. I remember, like, the subreddits and whatever being very kind and positive to this movie. But I also think that, like, I mean, theater kids are a pretty big audience in a way, like, especially vocally online. And I think, like, this is a theater kids horror movie. Like,
1000%. This is a theater kids horror movie.
It's very much designed for a very niche part of the horror franchise to take very seriously, and I feel like those people would take this seriously. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I felt like this was such a well-constructed scene, and it ends with the entity swarming her and slamming her head against the table.
Yeah, ripping out a whole chunk of hair. She's got a big old bald spot.
And then a giant arm forces its way down her throat, and she blacks out. And it's during the blackout that we get the additional information that crash that happened with the boyfriend happened when they were yelling at each other, and she swerved. She grabbed the steering wheel.
She was the psycho girlfriend.
And swerved them off the road.
Yeah. Yeah. The real horror is the trauma.
And then she wakes up in the hospital or in a retreatment center, and her momager has this whole thing with her where she's like, oh, you're disappointing everyone. You're so selfish. We're just here for you. And it's so insidious because it is so obvious that every single person around her is, like the entity, a parasite feeding off of her, needing for her to perform for them so they can keep making money. And her mom is absolutely included in that. Like, I do feel like Naomi Scott said she was very inspired by Lady Gaga, but I get shades of Britney. I also get shades of Ariana Grande and the shift in her music after the Manchester City bombing. No, like there's definitely like a lot here that could be recognizable to pop star stans and people like that. But we get the satisfaction of the entity appearing, and then suddenly Elizabeth smiles, she smashes the mirror, she stabs herself, and then Skye has this moment where as she is trying to leave, she looks down at her hand, sees that mirror shard, and goes back to Elizabeth and intuits that, oh, I had a vision that my mom killed herself, but I'm the one who killed her.
Yeah, again, we're kind of playing like only having one movie to establish Smile lore. It's not so much that I'm clocking the continuity between the two movies, but even just the continuity between this movie. Does it cause visions of other people? Is it causing her to do this herself? Is it how much control over the host does it have? What exactly is it able to do? Like, some of this stuff is a little messy, and I think everything after the blackout happened within her own mind. Right.
That's the only way any of the sequence post blackout makes any sense, is if none of it happened. Right. Because so many people see her covered in blood.
Well, yeah, so then when she has to leave covered in her mom's blood, and so she's wearing the giant hoodie, which helps a little bit.
Where did she get the gun?
The gun? She's got the
No, she has a gun.
She doesn't have a gun yet. She has the knife or the shard, but when she's in the retreatment center, there's a security guard, and she is able to get the gun from the security guard. She shoots it into the ceiling. Get away from me! She Tom Cruises in Night and Day.
Oh yeah, that was that was an interesting turn.
Pies for everybody.
And then she's so small, and the gun is so big.
That gun was huge. I was thinking, oh my god, they really let that security guard have any gun he wanted, huh? Like the requirements were just gun. It didn't say you didn't say what kind. Since we're doing loopholes here, you didn't say what kind. I'm going to pick the biggest handgun I can have.
Yeah, maybe that's meant to be a clue that this is not reality, because it is just an insane gun for a security guard to be packing.
Yeah, it looks like she needs both hands to hold it.
And I do enjoy that as she escapes from the hospital and Gemma rolls up with the coffees, and then she GTAs that guy's car, Gemma's response is to throw the coffees, make her move aside, ride or die. I do love that, and I do love that Skye accepts this as plausible. As I accepted it as plausible, because I'm that kind of crazy best friend.
Right. It's definitely sort of like you've got to roll, Gemma has to roll with the crazy to a certain point, but she's also she's trying to stick as close to her friend as possible so that she can save her, keep her safe, and ultimately find a peaceful resolution. Or so we think.
So we think, because it's here while we're in the car that the real Gemma calls Skye.
Yeah, you've been leaving weird text messages for the past couple days. Who are you talking to?
I haven't seen you in over a year because you told me I was an
Yeah.
Was it an opportunistic bitch?
Yeah, something like that.
And then when she turns to look at Gemma in the driver's seat, she's got the Smyrus.
Smyrus, baby. Yeah.
And then that's when she realizes she was driving the car all along.
Yeah.
And she almost crashes in an intersection. She runs into a dumpster, enters the abandoned Pizza Hut with Morris, and they decide to go through with the Flatliners plan. But then he just leaves her alone on a metal table inside a walk-in.
Yeah,
and
you can't open we got to prop the door open because you can't open it from the inside, and here it's going to be really cold in here, and I'm going to set all this up, and now I'm just going to leave, and like, yeah, the alarm bells are ringing the whole time.
Right. Like, I don't know, if we were to shave, 30 minutes off of this movie, we cut the entire Morris beat and have this all happen at the retreat.
The entire plot line from the first movie where she goes to find out how to survive this and realizes you need to kill someone else in order to do that with someone else being witness. So you need two people. And then she goes to try. So, I mean, we're spoiling everything, but spoilers for the first movie. She goes in and she does. Should she do it? Should she not do it? She spends this whole amount of time, goes in, finally does it, finally kills someone, but then it's revealed that whole part was a dream sequence and the smile demon was fucking with her. And so then it's like, if I'm cutting stuff out, as much as I hate to cut lore stuff out of a movie because I love lore so much, I'm cutting all that bullshit lore out, the whole fake out sequence, because we spend a whole time divulging this loophole that turns out to be a dream sequence. And here we're diverging into this loophole that if she kills herself medically, she can technically pass on or kill the demon by having it removed from her body, but no host to attach itself to. And yet, at the end of this whole kill yourself medically induced death sequence, it's revealed this has all been a dream by the smile demon. None of it was real. You could cut both of those from both movies and get yourself closer to that sweet, sweet 90-minute spot. Like, oh my God.
I did enjoy the fight between coked out car crash Sky and current Sky.
But I agree, you could move that all and condense it right to the rehab
to the retreat.
center.
You could have all of that happen within the retreat room.
Yep. Agreed. Completely agreed.
And then still have the mom killing and the Patrick Bateman moment of doubting it all. But yeah, she tries to fight off the entity. She importantly does not win because we're feel bad bummer ending territory, and then she's put back into that like stage uterus.
Right. Yeah, we've set it up earlier in the movie, but she's got an egg.
It was so incredibly
She's got a pop
vaginal.
star egg.
the vagina Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
She's inside. She comes out. And I do like this. This feels very Wreck almost, where now that we've done so much, we're going to have this final insane moment where the smile demon reveals itself, coming, like peeling out of her like she's a banana peel.
Right.
Confronting her. And then finally she lets it in, and she kills herself by stabbing herself with her microphone right in the noggin,
right through the
in
eyeball,
front of everyone. So does this mean like the Ring style? Everyone's got the Smyrus now. Yeah,
I think that is what we are intended to assume, is that now every single person who witnessed this, either live or electronically, digitally, I don't know, they're all now infected, and if there's a third movie, it'll be interesting to see how, if they take that, how do they incorporate it? Right? You got to walk yourself into a corner and then find an interesting way out. That'll be my tie-in with my love bite this this episode. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very bold move. It's a very interesting move. We'll see.
I like this bummer ending better than Hereditary. Like, if I think of
Yeah.
modern movies that have bummer endings...
It feels very The Substance.
Yeah,
The Substance
yeah. No, I
ends
see
with a
that.
big death scene on a stage while everyone freaks out. But yeah, this is the guy Parker Finn is the writer director. These are the only feature length movies he's made, or just these two Smile
He's
movies.
the Smile guy.
So he's all in on this Smile thing, and I think that the movies are very well done. They are worth watching as a horror fan, but both movies are just 20 to 30 minutes too long.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Now, on to the question.
Oh, boy.
Who did you have a crush on in this movie?
Who did I have a crush on in this movie? That's a very good question. I think Naomi Scott really fucking nailed it. I think
She crushed it.
part of the reason why this movie hit so big when it did is that everyone was like, you gotta see this performance by Naomi Scott. But as far as crush goes, like, she's a full-on love interest. I would probably say Lewis. I think Lucas Gage, his facial presence early in the movie establishes... It sort of gives our character a mascot in a way, while also being the invisible demon that it is, that we talked about earlier in the movie. That can morph into anyone, do anything. So you kind of get to eat your cake and have it too. You kind of get like a familiar, scary face that's instantly recognizable, but also, who in this scene is the demon? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I think he was deployed perfectly.
Yeah. Is that your crush as well?
Oh, no. I'm going to give it to Alfredo, Ivan Carlo. I thought that the stalker... I thought he did good with his bit. And then also, I looked at him, and then I looked him up on IMDb, and I saw this guy's way more attractive than they're trying to make him appear.
Sure.
Which was absolutely true. And his placement in the movie, the terror of the naked stalker in the apartment, I just felt like it was great. And hopefully he gets to do more stuff now that he has this as part of his reel. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be down to see him in more stuff. The horror genre will take him.
We'll take him.
Dibs. We call dibs.
No. So how was it turning this into a rom-com?
It was all right. It was all right.
Same for me. This
I
was
had
tough.
all night to do it, and I just put it off, and then finally, when I was like, all right, procrastinated to the maximum amount, I've got to sit down and do it, I found it to be just extremely fine.
That just about describes my experience. I feel like lately I've been on such a heater, and I've just been tripping and giggling along, and then in comes Smile 2, and suddenly I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I did you find that sometimes when a movie's premise is too strong and unique, like, it's harder to make a remix because either you want to keep elements of it or you find yourself drifting too far away and you're like, well, this isn't even a remake at this point.
Well, I never, in my head, I had already sort of like written off, like, the Smile curse can't be a feature of the remix. Like, it's too, although I did think about it. I did think about it for a moment.
Oh,
but
I
it
did
was
the
a little...
Smile curse. Only
you
instead
did
of
the
smiling,
Smile
I did it
curse.
kissing because it's a rom-com.
Mwah.
So yeah, at the end of the week, you're gonna kiss someone.
I don't know. I guess, like, for me, inspiration is just a very slippery thing, and so it slipped away from me this time. It's like trying to grab a fish underwater,
right?
And this time I just didn't grab anything. Should you go first, or shall I?
I can go first real quick.
Go for it. I want to hear your curse.
I think
Your
I've tapped
kissing
into
curse.
this before, but mine is called Cupid's Song. And I think I've done some Cupid stuff before, but I'm going to set it up because I don't want a character to have to come in and explain the kiss demon in full detail and stuff. I want the audience to know exactly what we're doing. So we're going to set this up back in ancient Greece. We've got Aphrodite and we've got Eros, and they're talking about gossip between gods, and then they're talking about mortals. And Aphrodite, while all this is happening, she's creating an army, like a literal army of Cupids. And then we find out, sort of cutesy Family Guy style, why she needs so many Cupids. And it's because out in the wild, most of the Cupids are these bumbling little idiot fools that are just kind of like shooting arrows at the best of their ability, missing most of the time. But most of them get killed in very cartoonish, silly, non-violent ways, where they just like puff. They get hit by a truck and they disappear into a puff of mist or something.
So not a bunch of dead winged babies.
Right. So not very graphically violent, more silly and cartoonish. But one of the little cherubs, one of the little cupids that she gives a kiss to, instead of kissing it on the cheek at the last minute, it turns and she kisses it on the lips. And this gives this specific cupid really strong, overwhelming powers over love. And it also makes this little Cupid much more competent and capable and much more menacingly like gremlin, and it's wanting to just create chaos. So, over the opening credits, we see this Cupid going through time, shooting arrows at people, making them kiss, and then people who see those people kiss end up kissing a week later. Then the people who see those people kiss end up kissing a week later. And we see it go throughout history, and then we meet Sky, who is straight out of like where this movie starts in a way. She's a pop star. She sings about kissing boys, but in real life, she's kind of too busy and too shy to kiss boys. Plus, maybe she had a bad experience where when she was like, you know, really young, she kissed a boy, but then the tabloids all went crazy and the paparazzi found her and took a picture of this moment that was supposed to be really innocent and kind of turned it into like really perverted and stuff. So she's very secretive and she doesn't like kissing. She even though she sings about kissing boys, she doesn't kiss boys. So how are we going to set this up so that at the end of the week she kisses someone? Well, backstage at one of her concerts, we overhear two people talking, and they're talking very sort of lovey-dovey, schmoopy boopy, I love you so much, schmoopy, I love you more, schmoopy boopy. And so you think that they're like teenagers in love, but then when Sky and her best friend Gemma, turn the corner and see these people, they're actually like much older fans of Sky, and they kiss for the first time. And so because they kissed for the first time, now Sky and Gemma are infected with the Cupid's arrow, and they're now fated to kiss at the end of the week. So at the end of the week, she's going to kiss someone.
Other?
Yep, she's going to kiss.
Someone.
Nope, they're going to kiss each other. That's how the demon works.
Okay.
So now Sky and Gemma are fated to kiss, and Cupid shows up, and Cupid's much more Bugs Bunny in this one, kind of taunting Sky. We don't see how it affects Gemma at all, but it's taunting Sky like, you're going to kiss Gemma. And she's like, I don't like kissing anyone, period, but I'm not going to kiss my best friend, and I'm not going to kiss a girl. So they go to the gym, and at the gym, like, because in Smile 2, the guy bashes his face in with a weight, so we're going to go to a gym. At the gym, there's a lot of touching because they have to practice their form and they have to spot each other. So there's a lot of touching. And the whole time the Cupid's like, you two are going to kiss. You two are going to kiss. Very miscongeniality. You want to kiss her. And then, so we get some tension there and stuff. We set up some more pop star stuff. Then they go to a racetrack. They're going to go to a racetrack, kind of like there was some driving stuff in Smile 2, so I just brought driving into the movie. They go to a racetrack, and they are on go-karts, and the Cupid is, like, trying to hold on to the go-kart the whole time while he's taunting Sky, and it's very cute and stuff. And then Sky and Gemma end up tying for first place. So on the winner's podium, they've got to share that tight little small space. And the Cupid's like, ooh, you're going to kiss her. And then they only have 1 cup of milk to drink from. You know, the winner of the race always drinks milk. So they have...
What?
Yeah, you don't know this? You've never seen Speed Racer? The winner always drinks milk at the end of the race. The winner drinks milk. But they only have 1 thing of milk for them to drink from. So Sky drinks from the milk, then Gemma drinks from the milk, and she's like, ooh, it's almost like we kissed. And Sky's like, why did you say that? Ooh. And so then the third thing is we're going to go to a charity ball. Just like in Smile 2, we had a charity ball. We're going to bring that into Cupid's song. Sky, though, it's a masquerade ball. Sky dresses as a man so that she can try to get away from Gemma. But she's also like, wait, if Gemma's coming as a girl, she's probably going to want to dance with a man. So Sky, as a man, dances with another man at the masquerade ball.
Okay.
And then, right before they kiss, the other man says something that only Gemma says. And then, right before they kiss, they take off their masks. And she's like, wait, Gemma? Wait, Sky? Oh my god, we almost kissed. Could you believe that? That would be so weird, right?
So weird.
And so then, Sky has to do the breakup scene where she breaks up with Gemma and is like, I can't be your friend anymore. This is too much. I can't take it. I'm not your friend. She goes to the stadium. She drives in a huff to the stadium where her big, or, you know, maybe she has to spend the night somewhere. But either way, the next big scene is she's at the stadium. She's performing on stage. She's singing about kissing all these boys. But then she has a Freudian slip and she mentions about kissing girls. And then all the music stops and stuff, and all her fans stop, and she's like, wait, why did I say girls? Maybe I do want to kiss a girl. And then in the very back of the audience, she sees Gemma, and then the crowd parts as Sky invites Gemma onto the stage, and they share a kiss, and then because they shared a kiss, the way the Cupid's curse works, it's basically the end of Smile 2. The entire stadium each turns to the closest person to them, and they all start making out. And because so much love is going on, the Cupid bursts into flames, but it's really cute flames. And then somewhere in the heavens on Mount Olympus, Aphrodite goes, oh, like she feels like a disturbance in the forest, and she's like, oh, and she takes off her headphones and she's reading like a gossip magazine about Mount Olympus, and she's like, oh, that's weird. And then she puts her headphones back on and she's listening to a Sky song, and she goes back to reading all about Mount Olympus gossip. And that's the end of Cupid's song.
And the Valtrex prescriptions are through the roof.
It's just like Smile 2, only we've got kissing instead of killing.
Too smiley, too kissy.
Yeah, like I said, pen to paper, no eraser. This is the best you get. I'm excited to hear yours.
This is, like I said, going to be a half an elevator floor pitch. We're not even going to get up to the floor before I'll be done. But I decided to call mine From Ear to Ear.
Ooh.
So Sky Riley is missing. It's 2 days before the opening night of her big comeback tour, and no one can find the pop singer. Uh-oh. And with no one left to turn to, Sky's mom calls up her ex-best friend Gemma, and they have this angry exchange where Gemma's like, I don't know where she is. I haven't talked to her in forever. Blah, blah, blah. But then Gemma hangs up and call immediately springs up again. She thinks it's the mom calling her back. And we can have a movie moment of her like yelling at her, right. But then it turns out it's not the mom. It happens to be Louis Fragoli. And Gemma is all like, well, Louis Fragoli, we haven't talked since the big falling out in high school. And he's like, I know that, but you need to come over here right now. She goes over to Louis's place, and there is Sky. And Sky is just acting like a giggling lunatic clown. Yeah. Why is she acting that way? it's because she took a new drug called Smile that is a mix between Molly and DMT, and she's basically in the trip, and they have to trip sit her until the concert. And as they're arguing, we learn that Sky was the one who begged Lewis to call Gemma. And we can have a funny moment where it's like Sky is on her 9th step, but her 9th step is meaningless because she's already off the wagon. So what is the point of her apologizing to Gemma when she's also back on drugs? So we can have like a moment around that. And then Gemma and Lewis are arguing when Sky sneaks out the fire escape and into the night. And so now Gemma and Lewis must hunt for Sky across New York City and get her back before the show. So we've got a fun little premise, our two would-be lovers going around New York City looking for their mutual friend and rehashing what brought their relationship to an end. So maybe we learn that in high school they were all the three of them like a gang, and Gemma thought that Lewis always liked Sky, but he always liked Gemma. And we learn that he's not a drug dealer, that he got drugs for Sky once, and then she just kept asking him, and he kept doing it, hoping that maybe he would see Gemma, but literally he's never done this before or since for anyone else. And so her initial impression of him as kind of a burnout drug dealer is wrong. And then we learn that part of the reason why Sky called Gemma to Lewis's place is because she also feels bad for how she got between them. So there's like a second chance element aided by our lunatic drugged out pop star. And then we get to vibe with Gemma and Lewis and see them start to get closer. So all that to say, we go through the hijinks and shenanigans. Our finale, just like the previous movie I wrote, is at Madison Square Garden. Because it has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be. And it's here that Sky sings a special song to Gemma that reunites them and repairs their friendship. But then Sky's mom has Lewis arrested. So, like, we can have the timing be, like, right after the girls hug, and maybe Sky's like, but shouldn't you tell Lewis how you feel? She turns to tell Lewis how she feels. Click, the cuffs are going on Lewis's wrists. He's being dragged away. So they have to confess to each other as Lewis is being pushed head down into the cop car. And then I wrap it up. I say we flash forward and end on Gemma and Sky standing outside of the jail with coffee and donuts. Sky posted bail, of course. And then the three of them get into Sky's convertible and drive into the sunset.
Yeah, happily ever after.
Exactly.
We like happy endings.
But yeah, this one was very lightweight, but that was what I could come up with. I thought that you might do Gemma and Sky, and so Sky and Lewis crossed my mind, but then I was like, no. Lewis and Gemma.
Yeah, that's a good... pair. I like that idea, because then you get to let the pop star be the crazy character who doesn't need to have... who gets to go too crazy without needing to, like, have the comeuppance part, like...
Exactly.
Right. She gets to just do the stuff free of any consequences, and it's all hijinks, so it's all low-stakes stuff anyway.
Right. Like, she's going to go to interesting places throughout the night that neither one of them would have gone.
Right. And so then they get to have the reconnection, but also they get to problem solve together and work together, develop their bond together as they work towards a common goal of we need to wrangle in this crazy drugged out pop star.
Exactly. Like get him to the Greek, but
Right.
with a much, much less problematic figure at its center.
A couple much less problematic figures all around.
Yeah. Now then, before we get into our love bites, I just want to remind all of you who listen to us to like, subscribe, review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and follow us on Instagram at Necromancer Podcast. Boom, boom. Love bites. Bret,
Yeah,
what would you like to recommend this week?
Oh, I'm excited to recommend this one. I mentioned my tie-in would be writing yourself into a corner and then just working your way out with whatever you did. That describes Better Call Saul in a nutshell. I finally got around to watching this. I saw like 1, maybe 2 seasons when it first came out. And I was like, I'll just wait till the seasons are done, wait till the show's done, and then find time for it. So finally sat down. I find this show to be much more satisfying than Breaking Bad as a whole.
Fair.
Breaking Bad has the main character. They need to find ways to make him go back and forth between good guy and bad guy. And after 2 seasons of that, they really start to stretch what I'm willing to narratively let go or to accept. But the show is very good. Breaking Bad is a very good show all throughout. But this show, the way Saul moves from good lawyer to skeezy lawyer is much more natural, and I'm much more along for the ride to see his downfall. It's a tough show to watch because sometimes the characters in this show have everything they want, and then the show just rips it away. And sometimes it's by their own doing, sometimes it's by other doings. But it's fucking great television. And Bob Odenkirk is just flawless as Jimmy McGill, aka Saul Goodman. I cannot recommend it enough just based on his performance alone. It's a fantastic show. I binged my way right through all of it, but then again, I work an overnight job where that's doable. I thought this was a 10 out of 10. Better Call Saul is so good.
You can't go wrong with a Vinny G joint. Vince Gilligan knows how to follow a guy.
Yeah.
And then I also think, Bob Odenkirk, but Rhea Seehorn, too. I feel like her character is meant to be almost like the anti-Skylar, where so many people misunderstood that character and hated on her. It feels as if this was sort of a reactionary character written to be heroic and
I definitely hate on
stand
Kim
by.
Big time. But I think I hate on Kim big time. Kim is a frustrating character to watch, and I hated her throughout, especially by the end of the show. I really hated her. But again, Rhea Seehorn makes the character like can't miss TV. It's the way she compels me to keep watching and investing my time in this character is it's bravo. It's great job. I liked her in it. I liked Rhea Seehorn, but I fucking hated Kim Wexler. God damn it, Kim. Great show all around. How about you? What's your love bite?
Well, I love a tie-in, and so I was thinking, what's another horror that also dabbles with pop and pop music? You will learn, by the time this episode comes out, my review of this show should probably also be out on Screener Squad for the 3rd season, so I'll hold off on my thoughts on the 3rd season so you guys can catch my Screener Squad review of it. But I would like to recommend the show Interview with the Vampire.
Ooh.
And there are so many things to love about this show, but where I would like to tie it with our theme is the person who composes for the show, Daniel Hart. Not only does he compose all of the score, the incidental music that's used in the show, and he has created a really interesting musical character for the show in the first 2 seasons. In the 3rd season, he also writes some pop songs. So while I can't tell you yet what I think of the 3rd season, you'll have to go listen to that Screener Squad episode. I can tell you overall that I think that Interview with the Vampire, not only is it one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, it's scored. The show is scored so well by Daniel Hart. So, you know, I gave praise to Adam Schlesinger last week and all he's contributed. I think, again, here is another film composer that I encourage you to look at. He also composed the music for Mother Mary, another pop star thriller, I think, ish. But yeah, if you're interested in how music written for television is made and you know what's good and not, Interview with the Vampire I think is really incredible in that regard, in many regards, but for the music in particular, I think it's so great.
Yeah. Good rec.
All right, sign us off, Big Daddy Sky Riley.
Smile wide.
Necromancer Podcast is produced by Bret Dorman and Shira Moore on the One of Us Podcast Network. The theme song is Sinfonia 3 by Kevin MacLeod on the album Oddities.